So we're watching this is the second documentary now on NXIVM.
Yes, on Stars, right?
On Stars, with which so far in one episode already, like I'm more intrigued by this one.
My buddy Nick Russo, who listens to Bonfire, was like, check out the Stars one.
They dragged 10 episodes out on the first one to really, it got boring a bit because like, okay, so what happens to them? And then the finale just ends where even you see there's 10 minutes left, there's whatever left, and it's like, he gets arrested. No spoiler there.
Man, I hate.
But he gets arrested 10 minutes before the thing. And I go, and then they show a trailer, and I'm like, oh, maybe it's 10 episodes, not 9. Maybe I was wrong. And then it shows this big long trailer, and it goes, coming back in 2021, like the part 2 of the story. And I'm like, dude, 10 episodes, they make it 5 and 5, man. You don't need to drink it. So this one, the new one, goes right into like, we're getting branded. We're getting like in episode 1. Yeah.
But dude, that's so funny. HBO's like, I was wondering maybe we could go out to dinner. We could have some drinks. Maybe we could take a walk, look at the city, and then maybe have a nice sweet kiss. Stars is like, listen, come in the house, pull your cock out. I'll blow you.
Let's go.
You pop. Maybe we'll get some snacks. We'll bang it out again.
Absolutely, dude. It gets right into it, like how they got sucked in, the dumb shit they were believing.
A show not ending strong can really fuck up how you feel about it, because I'm think of like when something like that comes to an end and you're like, there's 10 minutes left, how is this fucking thing ending?
I hate that.
Versus season 2 finale of The Boys, where you're like, oh whoa, so it's over, and you're like, how's there still 20 minutes? And then you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And there's like 3 things that happen there, you're like, oh shit, and you're like, at the end of season 2 you're like, bring season 3 on right now.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't.
This was the first
even
one.
from what you've told me from the HBO documentary,
It's good.
Sure, but now how you've said, it's like 9 episodes. It's like, I'll just go with the Stars.
Well, buddy, because what the first like 3, maybe 4 or 5 episodes, you're still going like, what did this guy do? They keep bringing. He goes, he's so brilliant. He's so smart. He's a business mastermind. It's not. You find out in the first episode of the other one, it's like, well, this guy's been a lifelong fraud and like scam artist. He's always been doing. He just took like Amway's ideas and turned into a business success thing, and just like he was always. But it's always pyramid. It's always like, now Dan, give me $3,000 so I can teach you how to get $3,000 from somebody for this. That's all it is. It's that stupid. Oh yeah. Oh, you have to watch this, dude. It's crazy. To get involved in this at all is a mine. And I know there's a chance we might have Catherine Oxenberg and her daughter on the show.
Oh, is that being worked out?
I think it is. So I don't want to smash them too bad, but I do have a lot of questions to ask about how you even get duped in to begin with. It's just...
I mean, dude, you're ask anyone that's ever been a part of a pyramid scheme.
You know, it's fine. Well, she's also... The one girl, the daughter also was like 19 years old. Okay. You tell me, Dan, that this cult expert who they're about to talk to, that's India Oxenberg, and then you tell me that lady doesn't look like Sylvester Stallone wearing a wig.
That's so funny.
Hey, so every time she come on, I just probably go, hey, cults is not that good of a thing.
People like to belong to things.
You gotta...
Dr. Oh my God, dude! It's, you know what it is? It's the area between her mouth and eyes.
Hey, I don't know. Dude, that's a picture of Sylvester Stallone, dude.
Hey, I was wondering.
I don't know. It ain't my war.
If you were in my call, I was wondering if you could toss me down a follow. I was wondering maybe you could let me brand you.
Did you find her, Christine, on the computer? Dr. Janja Lilach? Dr. Janja Lalich.
Now, if you anagram it to John Rambo,
flip the words around.
She does look like
disturbingly looks like Sly Stallone.
If her name was Loretta Stallone, I would be like
100%.
Oh, there she is. She goes, no, you gotta understand the cult leader is a different kind of person.
I'll tell you, I'm not convinced that she's not related somehow to Sylvester Stallone.
She goes, well, hold on. I was born in the Red Hook district.
Or it looks like maybe, you could tell people for sure that Frank Stallone in quarantine got reassignment surgery.
He goes, take me back. Take me back.
Hey, I'm down, but I'm far from over.
Hey, if you're going to turn me in from an Audi into an innie, at least let me have a piece of haircut.
You see, in cults, it's not about how hard you get hit, how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
That's the cult leader. You can't call him a bum.
Yeah.
You're not a bum.
Hey, Keith Raniere, just go back to being what you were. crumb bum.
You gave my group sex to Spider Rico.
Dude, I found it puzzling how much she looks like Sylvester Stallone.
It is. I don't see it completely. I see it between the nose and the eyes.
Wow.
Mouth, I don't.
I see it. It looks like Sylvester Stallone to me, and I can't unsee it.
Wait, does it look the way like in cartoons when they're hungry and someone turns into a chicken?
Yeah, I'm just seeing Sylvester Stallone's face only. Put a hat on her.
Put some stubble in a toothpick. That's Cobra.
That's the lady. Dude, this guy Keith Raniere must have slung dick, because the whole thing, going to a 5-day retreat and being like, all right, you guys are going to be all my friends and everything now. Another fun fact that they didn't say at all, didn't mention at all
in the HBO doc?
In the HBO one at all. Catherine Oxenberg, who in the HBO one is all about her. She's a lady from Dynasty. She's the daughter of Princess of Yugoslavia or something.
Yeah.
Just she's a nice lady.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's coming on, but she's joined this thing she was married to, and I don't know if we even get to NXIVM questions, but how excited I am for this. In this first episode, it shows you that she joined it at first with her daughter and her husband at the time. Husband? Casper Van Diem.
Who's that?
Starship Troopers, and then a bunch of other,
God,
a bunch of other low budget. He just became like a.
Bring up Casper Van.
You don't remember Casper Van Diem?
I remember him from Starship. If he's the guy,
gorgeous
from Starship Troopers,
he's a hunk, and she's older.
Yes, that is the guy I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
and she's older, dude. Like, so she really pulled a.
That was them.
But he liked living in that. I bet he liked living in that lavish ass house.
I wonder if he had like a crush on her when she was on Dynasty.
Possibly.
Like almost like Ashton Kutcher, Demi Moore.
On Dynasty, though, they even show clips of her in this. In Dynasty, she was hot, like when she was younger, for sure. But in Dynasty, she was so like you wouldn't even thought twice about it.
So she joins the cult with her husband, this young stud,
Casper Van Diem.
Casper Van Diem. Is he the father of her daughter?
No,
he's way too young.
But they had a kid, right? Didn't she have another kid with him?
Oh, she has a little Starship Trooper.
Oh, dude. So he was her piece of meat. He was like her young boy toy.
Absolutely her young boy toy.
And then she drops the boy toy for fucking volleyball dork?
No, she didn't. I think they just broke up. She went to it and was like, oh, all right. And then it was like the sashes. She was kind of left with like it's kind of weird. But her daughter stayed, and she was like, whatever. And then her daughter's like, I'm going to go on the path to becoming a coach, which is like, that's when you're in. That's when you're totally in. But I have a hard time, dude, watching these people cry about what they've done and being so excited when he got arrested and jumping up and down. It's like, you are all nitwits.
Yeah, you're all nitwits. It's, man.
Dude, I don't know why I have a hard time feeling bad. I know they're the victims. I'm not victim blaming. I'm just like, all these things, like, right away when he goes, it's $3,000 a person to come this retreat. What are you going to do? He goes, we're going to do, and then even, I mean, their whole program is set up exactly like Scientology. Like, sit across from a person, we're going to get a breakthrough, and they just ask you prodding questions. They're going to come to you. It's just, you'd see it because it'd be so obvious. You're going to see it in front of a group, and he goes, so you lost your father when you were young, but you didn't get to say a lot of things to him, and blah, blah, blah.
So like you know those...
I mean, you lost, so you have a fear of loss. Like, you ignore death because you choose to, and then you're going to go, and then they're relying on you going like, yeah.
So I kept
I never thought of those very obvious things myself.
What, like, I want to say 2010, 2011? I was, what's that?
Scientology reading?
Yeah, I was.
I think Christine did too.
Yeah, an E-meter.
Let me guess, you guys both need it.
No, an E-meter reading. So I knew what it was. I'd done a paper on Scientology in college, so like I knew it was a cult.
You were in.
And I knew that Dianetics was the only way to unlock my theater level. And I was like, listen, if I'm going to become clear, then I got to get my theater level up. And the only way to do that's E-meter readings.
Now, you want more aliens inside of you? Is that the idea?
You got to release your aliens.
Get the aliens out.
Come, you're alien.
So, Jeremy Thetan
level rise to the great Xenu.
I left the Thetan Bukkake all over Christine's back.
Oh, I'm letting it happen. So I was in Times Square, and I was hungover, and I was like waiting for something. I think it was to go to a gig, and I had to meet someone near the Port Authority, and they were like, e-meter reading, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. I'm hungover. I know how these assholes. I know what they do, like how they would turn it up to make it. Be
I
like,
said yes in Times Square to it once, but then they told me it was like it's hilarious. I only didn't go, I knew what it was, and I was like, oh, this will be funny. And then it was just like you have to go to this building and blah blah. And they even tell you it goes you never like Tom Cruise might even be over there, and it was just like you had to go a couple blocks. It was out of my way. I didn't know New York well enough to be like I kind of know where I'm going here. You take me off the path. I was like, I'm okay. No, I'm good.
This one they had it there. They had like the two things
outside
that you hold. They had it right there in time. It was at 42nd Street Station in Times Square, down where like the 1, 2, 3 connects with the NRQW.
Oh, inside the tunnel.
It was in there, and I was leaving the N train, and I was like going to this thing, and I'm like, fuck it, dude. I got like 30 minutes, and I was either going to do that or go get a beer. So I grabbed it, and he was like, "What are you feeling right now?" And I was like, "Hungry." And he's like, "Okay. What are you feeling right now?" And I was like, "Still hungry." And he was like, "All right. What about now?" I was like, "I thought about my uncle." And he's like, "Well, what did you think about your uncle?" I was like, "How awesome he is." And I just kept, every time they would try to hit me.
How he's always hungry.
Yeah. But every time they would try to, because I saw what they were doing. They were trying to pivot me. It was the way Fenoya like described, like you take away the options until there's only one thing left to say. So they kept trying to pivot me to be
That's
like.
my trick. But,
yeah. Well,
and also,
I'm saying
you're also a guy on the sidewalk with a
I
dead
call
bird.
you the L. Ron Hubbard of comedy.
Yeah. Dead bird Houdini.
Yeah. Dead bird Houdini. And so I just kept being like pivoting every time they would try to get me out of it. I'd be like, no, he's awesome. And I'd go into it, and they were like, okay. Okay. Well, you should probably do another e-meter rating at one of our centers. And I was like, oh,
of course. He goes, my uncle. He goes, what about him? He goes, he fingered my asshole. And they go, well, that's something right there. He goes, because I asked him to.
Because I bought him a drink.
He's like, I don't.
Because I told him if he didn't, I would tell my aunt that he made me suck his dick. And they're like, who are you?
He goes, but then he forced me to suck his dick. He goes, so you didn't want it. He goes, but I didn't tell my aunt because I said I would tell her if he didn't suck my dick. But then I don't know. It's a weird thing. And they go, the e-meter thing just spinning around.
Yeah, he goes, like, I don't know what to ask you. And I go, I asked for it.
Yeah. I wanted it.
Yeah, my uncle.
I'm pretty sure I asked for it.
You go, my uncle tried to get me arrested. He said I was too aggressive for trying to blow him. I was 8, and they're like, "Who are you?" Like,
that happened with therapy with Stan on American Dad. At one point, he remembers like swinging on a rope swing to like a priest. Guy's wearing a priest collar.
Yeah.
He's in the pool, and he goes, and someone just goes like, "You're remembering that totally wrong." And it's like the priest, like the priest is like swinging on the rope swing, like nervous, and Stan's like a little boy, like he's like asking for it completely.
Yeah, but those guys, they're like. I think the open micers of Scientologists, so they're just down there. I really should have blown his mind. I really should have sat down and been like, brother, look at me. My theatin level. Xenu wants me to tell you. And he'd be like,
oh, dude, if you get filmed, you going like, it goes, dude, I'll be honest with you. I think all this kind of stuff.
Listen to Xenu. This is Xenu. Communication through me. And
give me everything you have in your pocket.
Okay. Give me the keys to the center.
Where's your wife? Let me look her over and see if I want a piece.
Dude, that's fucking... To come out of Scientology, I wonder if it's the feeling... Like, when you come out of a cult, is it the feeling of when you're hungover and you regret everything you said when you were drunk?
By the episode 1, India Oxenberg really is like... Everything she says, like... I don't know. Like, she sounds very much in her head like... I don't know. It sounded right at the time.
I mean...
It was like the making people... Dude, this couple... In the HBO one, they're going to be in this one too, I think. But they stayed together, right? She's the person who played the woman who took in Luke Skywalker at the end of part 3.
Yeah,
she's the mom and Uncle Ben and whatever.
Yeah,
or, not Uncle Ben, Uncle whatever he lived with, his uncle and aunt.
Yeah,
she was the aunt. Her and her husband is the guy who made the documentary. What the bleep do we know?
Yeah,
they were a couple. They get in. He gets in it first. He brings her in. One of the things when they're in there. Is like they start doing it's so funny. You got to start like the women's group is supposed to be empowering of women, but all it's doing from everything he says, he's right in the face about it. It's just desensitizing you to guys treating you like fucking dumb bitches. It's insane. You know what I mean? It's like
I'm gonna watch this.
It's like a man. It's like a man wants you to. It's like a man's going to tell you to do whatever, but don't be victimized by that. Just make the bed. You know what I mean? Isn't that sort of what he's saying, Christine, the whole idea?
The whole thing's pretty ridiculous, what he's telling this woman. Like, it's all based in misogyny.
Yeah.
And they're making it out like a woman's group. And this girl, the idiot, what's her name? Nancy. Saltzman, who's like the leader, she's like, I know, it's the first women's movement created like a man, created by a man. It's so weird. And I'm like, yeah, there shouldn't be a women's movement created by a man.
She goes, but there's no man like him in the world, the most unique man I've ever met in my life. She just buys
They're
him
all
totally.
like in love with him. And the guy Mark, so the guy that did What the Bleep Do We Know, there's something where you're like, are you... like this emotion he has towards another man, you're like, is this a closeted gay thing?
Dude.
Like, is there something where you're in love with him because...
Is this the way I described Joe Montana?
It's worse. It's way worse, way different. But he goes, so this couple, one of the things in their marriage they did in the girls group, it was like, we just gotta like make sure we have the roles all played here. Like, your wife has to do some penance for some of the things she's done in her life, so she has to sleep on the floor like a dog next to you while you sleep in the bed. And they just did it.
How is that possible that at least through half the night you just look over the side of the bed, you go, are you all right?
I mean, yeah.
And she's like,
in fact,
I'm okay, thanks.
she calls him at one point. This is early in the documentary, but they circle back to it like so much later. But it's her, when she was leaving, the wife leaves before the husband. And she's like, yeah, I'm having some like just memories here kind of popping up and just things in my head going right now of like things that Keith did to me that are like bad, and like bad things have been done to me, and I don't like this, and I'm getting out. And he's like, I'm going to call Keith and talk about this. I mean, I'm not exaggerating at all. He's like, I'm going to call Keith and talk about it. He goes, Keith says you're just being crazy, so like just don't be crazy. And she's like, well, I'm going to leave. And he's like, all right, but I'm not. So like it is, and then just try to get him to break up constantly. But they're still together, and I'm like, this lady, even if he got out and they decided to work together and be friendly to bring this guy down later, how do you go that you were able to let a guy come in there? Can you imagine if you started giving me the rules on what I do with Christine?
Yeah, I go, hey, Jay, you're going to have to probably call me before you order any food with Christine. I just want to know what you guys are consuming.
It is exactly, you're not exaggerating. That's exactly what they start doing.
But the main, you know, we talk about Nippy.
Yeah.
There's one scene with Nippy and Mark, because Nippy seems so happy-go-lucky, but once they're out and they're talking together, you really see, like, the shame on Nippy's face. Like, he seemed like his entire demeanor...
Not for being named Nippy, by the way.
Yeah.
That's not a shame.
Yeah, he walked through that as a child.
His wife, though, Nippy's wife, because she's older...
Miss Nippy?
She's older with...
Mrs. Nippy?
She's older with a really good body. She can't wait to show you that scar. That fucking... I've never seen a woman unbutton her pants and pull it down like right beside her sniz to show you that scar a zillion times.
Yeah, she goes, I'll show it to you right now.
There's some great
Nippy don't like it.
Some great crossover things, though, when the guy's explaining to Catherine Oxenberg, the couple, they're saying, like, and then she was sleeping on the floor, and I just sat there and let it happen. It was crazy. And she's like, yeah, oh, my God, sleeping on the floor. Like, she's, like, laughing about it, and they're all, like, sort of laughing about it. And then you see him, like, just, you know what, it's not funny. Or I'm not ready for this to be funny yet. We can't get, this is ridiculous and not funny. And then it cuts to the girl who keeps showing her scar.
Yeah.
And she's like, I put this Dermatex stuff on it. It's like it's the best it can do to help heal the scar. She goes, seems like a commercial for Dermatex, right? Like, hey, you need to get rid of your sex cult regretful's pelvis scar?
Yeah.
Then use Dermatex. Hey, Dermatex for all your sex cult regret scars.
That's a new bit. I'm trying that one
She's
tonight.
laughing her ass off. He's like, who am I ready? The guy, I understand almost more the guy not being ready to handle it, because like if it's like if a guy walked up and he was like, in front of you and you and Katie are walking, a guy goes, I'm going to punch you in your face if you don't suck my dick. And then you just do suck his dick and he leaves you alone. Like, you still have to go home and be like, hey, I sucked the guy's dick. Even your chick would be like, fight him.
Yeah,
like,
there you go. Well,
I'm not talking about a gun or anything like that. I'm just talking about like a fucking, I'm going to punch you in the face if you don't. You go, like,
God, you're so masculine.
He's like, make your girl suck her own titty while you suck my dick. And you go, honey, just suck your own titty.
Because he doesn't even have a weapon. I go, right? So imagine how scary he is.
So suck your titty.
So suck your titty. This guy clearly knows hand-to-hand combat.
Oh my God, will you please just suck your titty and
Please
stop?
suck your titty and I'll just blow him quick. I'm going to blow him so fast. I just want to go home.